All right, let's go ahead and get started. We'll call the meeting to order. It is 7 o'clock. I'd ask that you join us as we have our moment of silent reflection, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you very much. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yeah, what's going to be? All right. Ask that council members review line item number 4. We've got previous meeting minutes to accept this evening. We've got the regular meeting from 3:03, special meeting also on 3:03, and then a meeting on 3:10. If there are no additions or corrections to the meeting minutes, I'd ask that you...
I want to make one correction. The special meeting minutes have not been presented yet. They're not sent out. Okay? We'll hold those over to the next meeting.
US all 3:03, so...
Yep.
So 1:33 and 1:3:10. If there are no additions or corrections, I'd entertain a motion that we approve those as presented.
So moved.
Motion by Jack, second by Rob. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Like sign opposed, that motion carries. Down to recognition of guests. First up, we have in our midst this evening, royalty. Good evening. Welcome back again. And Sophia Weigel with the volunteer race director with Tunnel to Towers Foundation from Ripley, West Virginia. If you would like to come to the podium, please, and make your presentation to us. And you are requesting financial support.
Yes, I have some papers for you guys.
Thank you.
As Sophia is distributing those, so the reason the mayor noted royalty is Sophia is our former West Virginia Association of Parents of Custis Queens. So it's always a pleasure to see her and her mother Kim.
And I just want to start by thanking you, Mayor, and all of the council members just for having me here today. This is a very big honor for me, and as the volunteer race director, one of my jobs is to promote the 5K in the event throughout the entire state. So I really appreciate you all allowing us to have this reach into the city of Buckhannon. But I want to start by talking about the Tunnel to Towers Foundation and how it was founded. So it started during 9/11. A firefighter named Steven Ziller, he was just getting off of his shift and he was going to go play a game of golf with his brothers, and he heard what was happening at the towers, and so he called his wife and told her to tell his brothers that he was going to catch up with them, and he ran through the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel all in his gear, and he ultimately gave up his life at the towers. And so he left behind a wife and 5 children, which is a very big financial burden, especially when you are grieving the loss of a loved one. The last thing that you should have to worry about is providing a roof over your children's head. And so his family started this to help first responders and military members and their families. So they have their In the Line of Duty program that they will go in, and if they are a Gold Star family member or a fallen first responder is killed in the line of duty, they will pay off their mortgage. And then they also have their catastrophically injured home program, where if they're catastrophically injured, they will build them a smart home that is adapted to their needs. And then they also have their veteran homelessness program. So they are working within our communities and across the country to hopefully eradicate veteran homelessness, because of anything, if a military member is willing to go and risk their life for us, the least that they should have to worry about is having a place to come back and live a decent life in our country. So they're giving them trade skills and PTSD support so that they don't have to be reliant upon the foundation, that they can hopefully go out and live an independent life. And something that they just announced is a new scholarship program for the In the Line of Duty families, that any of those children that have had a parent killed in the line of duty, they will give them a full ride to any college that they want up until the age of 33 years old. And so the Tunnel to Towers Foundation, their motto is, while we have time, let us do good. And they are very much so holding true to that promise. Our 5K in Ripley, it is going to be on May 9th, and it raises money for the foundation. On your papers, you'll see 93% of the money that is raised goes towards all of these programs. And that's very unheard of. You are not giving money to go line a CEO's pocket. You are truly going to help our nation's heroes and their families. Something that we get asked a lot too is, does the money stay in West Virginia? Because obviously as our cities and our communities, we're wanting to give money to where it will help. And what I will say is, the money is there for us if we need it, but we should all pray that we never have to use the money, because that would mean someone has been killed or that they are catastrophically injured. But I can say Corey Maynard in Logan, they went in and paid his wife's mortgage off and all of her car payments, and countless others in our state. And if you would ever have a need in Buckhannon, they would be the first to reach out. As soon as they hear of something, they will reach out to the family and the departments that they work for and work hand in hand. And even if they may not fall in the line of duty programs, they have been known to give money just to try to help people. So what the foundation is doing is truly amazing. And you know, as my mom and I say, truly our first responders and our military members are willing to go risk their life for our entire country. So really all of the cities in our state should be willing to give, because this is something that will benefit any of your first responders and military members that are in your community. So I really hope that you guys will consider sponsoring. You know, that is how we make our money. In the past 4 years, we've raised over $100,000. And that was why I wanted to get started. My brother is in the National Guard, and I was 13 years old and thought of all of the worst things that could happen to him. And I decided that I wanted to do something to be able to help others that are in the position of something that I hope my brother would never be in, of needing these aids. And so I'm very thankful that we've been able to raise that money, and I hope that you all will consider helping us to continue that and to continue doing good in our communities, because of anybody that we should be supporting. It's our first responders and military members who are willing to go out and risk their life for us. So I hope that you guys will consider it, and if you guys have any questions, I'm happy to answer them for you.
What is the deadline? I know that you're kind of working on a deadline as well, right? For
Yes.
this year's 5K?
Yes.
So what are your deadline?
So we have April 6th is the deadline. That would just be more so for a verbal, because we would want to get you all on all of the signage if you want to be on t-shirts. So we have to have those logos more so is really our main concern, to be able to get it onto the t-shirt. But April 6th is when we need at least a verbal, agreement.
So even if this didn't come out of our fiscal year this year, we could verbally commit if it came out of the next fiscal year?
Yes, yep, all we would need is a verbal commitment. And I will say too, I hope that all of you all will be willing to join us at the 5K, because I'm not a runner. I cannot run to save my life, but it's not about a run, it's about remembering 9/11 and honoring our first responders. So even if you just come, we have an opening ceremony to really help us make sure that we never forget what happened on 9/11. So, just come out to Ripley and enjoy a day of never forgetting what happened and honoring. So also to all of the first responders, Steven Siller, he ran in his gear, so we really, and actually the distance of the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel to the towers is pretty much a 5K. So there's a lot of symbolism within the day, and we hope to see you all out there as well.
Well, thank you for bringing this to us this evening. Here's what council members, here's what I'm going to recommend. I'm going to recommend that we refer this to our Revenue Expense Review Committee. We can set up a meeting to discuss this and then refer it back to City Council with a recommendation with how we wish to support this. And we can have that on our agenda for our first meeting in April. That'll hit your deadline.
Yes.
Right.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys having me in your time.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And just so you know, that's what we do. That's our typical, when we receive a request, we have a committee specifically for that. Even our Strawberry Festival goes through that same committee and then comes back to City Council. So that's our process.
And that's why the timing works out well. We'll have another council meeting before that. So we'll keep you posted.
Yes, we appreciate just your time.
Sure. Well, thank you. Up next, we welcome our brand new, or incoming, Student Senate President, Bray Boggs, who comes to us from Putnam County, West Virginia, Winfield. Would you like to come to the podium and tell us a little about yourself and what's going on campus?
All right, absolutely. Thank you, Mayor Skinner. Hello, council members. My name is Bray Boggs. I'm currently a junior political science major. I recently served as the Student Senate President, and I am now exiting that role, and I've taken over the Alumni and Community Relations Chair position from Mr. Wyburn, so I'm really grateful for that. And the reason being is because I went to Florida this past January to umpire school for the month of Florida, the Wendell State Umpire School, and did that. Now I'm back, and I'm interning with the Office of Advancement with Christy Wilkerson. So taking on this role, kind of the community, alumni relations, and I'm really excited to be doing that. So just want to share a few things, some updates from West Virginia Wesleyan College tonight to everybody, and at the end I'm more than happy to field any questions that you might have. So in terms of news, we just got word that West Virginia Wesleyan will receive over $2.5 million in congressionally directed spending from the United States government through the office of Senator Shelley Moore Capito. This money will funnel right towards air conditioning, HVAC improvements on campus, so we're very grateful for her and the support of our congressional delegation in that. The West Virginia Space Trek program, it is a Women in STEM program for young women in grades 9 through 12, as well as freshmen in college. It will be happening on the campus of Wesleyan from July 12th to the 25th this year. Space systems engineering, satellite technology, all of that will be going into that camp, so we're very excited for that opportunity to host that. And it was just announced for the 19th year that the West Virginia Scholar Program is open. This is a full tuition scholarship to West Virginia Wesleyan. It's open for all 11th grade students in the state of West Virginia, so I'd encourage you, if you know anybody that's an 11th grader in our state and would want to come to the Home Among the Hills, encourage them to apply for that. I believe the applications will run through April or May, and then they'll make their selections this summer. Some current happenings on campus. Today, the Black Student Union hosted a business expo. This allows students to interact with entrepreneurs and business professionals from around the state and area. They've been on campus all day for it, and it's concluding with a little rock concert tonight with a former Wesleyan alum. So it's been a really great day to see those individuals on campus. Next week, a week from today, 50 Wesleyan students are traveling to Washington, D.C. to interact with Wesleyan alums that are working in the nation's capital, looking at internships and different career opportunities. This happened 2 years ago, I believe, in the fall, and it was very successful. Got to talk to a lot of different people, Wesleyan alums as well as leadership in D.C. Senator Capito and Senator Justice's delegation will be there and staff, so we'll be getting to talk to them, so it's very exciting. Our We Lead Animal Welfare Team is holding a pet supply drive. It'll run through March 27th, so if you have any food, toys, beds, pet supplies, there's boxes in the library and the chapel that I know that they would very greatly appreciate. Some news from Elisa. Admission recruitments for creative arts, athletics, and service scholars is going extremely well, and I'm happy to announce that 15 Buckhannon students have already committed to Wesleyan for the fall, so that's a really strong number there, especially this early. And we want to remind everybody that Wesleyan offers a $1,000 room discount per semester for students from Upshur, Lewis, Randolph, Harrison, and Barber County. So a little incentive for those students in those areas to come and be on-campus members at Wesleyan. And the last thing I have is we're getting into softball, baseball, lacrosse, track, and tennis season in the spring. All athletic events are open and free to the public. So hope to see everybody out and supporting our teams this spring. That's all I have.
Sounds good.
Great.
Y'all have any questions?
Any questions for Brett?
I'm intrigued about the umpire school.
Yeah.
How many fingers do I have up? I'm sorry. I could not help myself.
My high school baseball coach told me that he was sad that I was getting an umpire because my eyesight was going to go.
Well, thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you all for having me. Appreciate it.
All right. At this time, I'd like to welcome both chiefs of the City Fire Department and City Police Department to come to the podium, please. Good evening, gentlemen.
Mayor, members of council, this is a very special night where we get to honor the efforts of a number of our officers over the past couple of months. The Buckhannon Police Department, as you know, has an award system in place to recognize the efforts and the commitment of its officers as they perform their duties above and beyond the regular call of service. To mark tonight's occasion, I brought a visual aid along just to kind of give a background of our award system. with the Buckhannon Police Department. So if you would indulge me before I continue, I'd like to just kind of give a background. On the frame before you is representative of the award system of the Buckhannon Police Department. The award system comprises 6 medals that can be achieved through various efforts of our officers. The medals are depicted in this frame in hierarchical order, and that is the way they are worn vertically on the Class A uniform. So I'll just give a brief overview of what each medal is and the significance that it holds for the tradition of the Buckhannon Police Department. The first is the Safe Driving Award, which is awarded to officers who exhibit safe driving, having accident-free or no-fault accidents every 3 years. The next award next to that is the Police Conduct Medal. That is awarded to officers who have no sustainable complaints in their file every 5 years. The next medal next to that is the Life Saving Award, which is self-explanatory when officers who through their actions save the life of another. The bottom row, beginning on the left, is the Meritorious Police Duty Award, which is awarded to officers through significant contributions through either new programs or through contributions through investigative work. The medal in the bottom middle is the Excellent Police Duty Award, which is for, again, significant contributions through major casework, oftentimes when there are numerous cases that are linked and solved, or through significant contributions to the police department. And then the final award on the bottom right is the Police Department's Medal of Valor. This is equivalent to the U.S. military's Medal of Honor. And this is awarded through sacrifice and commitment of extreme bravery above and beyond the normal call of duty. Again, these awards are worn in hierarchical order on the Class A uniform as presented. These can be won numerous times when officers achieve more than one medal, very similar to the military tradition of oak leaves on the medal itself. For their Class A uniforms, a number is affixed to each of the medals. So if you see one of our officers out there with one of these medals that have a 1 on it or a 2, that means they've won that award. And in the case of the number 1 on the medal itself, they've won that award plus 1 other. And the numbers continue as many times as they win these awards. These awards are not freely given. They are not challenge coins. They are earned. And that is the significance of these medals. It is earned through such things as hard work, dedication, commitment. This plaque hangs in our hallway in the police department in a very prominent location in the front entry hallway where everybody can see it. And officers are strongly encouraged, they see it every day, and they are strongly encouraged. My charge to them is to, by the end of their career, make it a point to win every single medal in this frame. That is to me, and it's my charge to them, that is a career well spent and a career dedicated to the citizens of our great city of Buckhannon. And so that is my charge to each of our officers, and that's why it's in a visual location within the Buckhannon Police Department for them to see each and every day. Mayor, it's in that vein that we come tonight to honor 3 of our officers with the Life Saving Award for their efforts, again, over the past couple of months. The first presentation that I'd like to make will be for 2 of our officers, Patrolman Dylan Major and Sergeant Tom Posey, who saved a life by responding to a young male juvenile in crisis who was contemplating taking his life, was sitting on the edge of the Po Bridge over the icy waters of the Buckhannon River back in January of 2026. Heroism comes in many forms. It can come through sacrifice, bravery, but can also come in quiet times through compassion and commitment. And that's exactly what occurred in January through the response of Patrolman Dylan Major and Sergeant Tom Posey. The body camera video of this encounter, unfortunately I can't show it publicly because it involves a juvenile. But when the prosecutor's office saw it, it brought them to tears. It's quite moving to see it, and the compassion that came from these two officers as they took the time to speak to this young man and bring him from the bridge, which ultimately saved his life. So Mayor, as I read the citation into the record for both of these officers, I'd like to invite you to come forward to help present the officers with the life-saving plan. Thus, this citation, they'll each receive a copy of this, and a copy will also be included in their permanent personnel file. But it is addressed to Patrolman Dylan Major and Sergeant Tom Posey, respectively. Today's date, 3/19/26, Life-Saving Award. On Saturday, January 3rd, 2026, Patrolman Dylan Major and Sergeant Tom Posey were dispatched to the Po Bridge on Marion Street in Buckhannon, West Virginia, to respond to a male juvenile in crisis who was sitting on the railing of the bridge, threatening to jump into the river. The officers responded promptly and began to speak with the juvenile in a calm manner in an effort to de-escalate this crisis situation. After engaging with the juvenile, the officers were able to talk him into getting off the railing of the bridge and coming back with them to take shelter in a warm police cruiser. In an additional effort to comfort the juvenile, the officers even hugged him after the juvenile tearfully requested a hug from them once he was away from the edge of the bridge and safe. As a result of their actions and for their prompt and unselfish act of rendering aid and assistance, including the act of showing human compassion to another human being that resulted in saving a life, Patrolman Dylan Major and Sergeant Tom Posey are hereby awarded with the Buckhannon Police Department Life-Saving Award. So I'd like to call them both forward for this.
If I get you gentlemen come to the center, if you would, please. Mayor, you know your spot.
I know my spot.
If we could, I'll tell you what, Lieutenant, could you come over on this side, please? Thank you. Good.
All right, guys, we'll go in order here.
All right.
I'm done.
Right here. And now, for me. All right, thank you.
The Mayor, before I read the next event into the record for Patrolman First Class Jonathan Warner, it's another life-saving award that we'll be presenting him with tonight for his actions at a recent structure fire. I'll yield to Chief Kimball of the Fire Department to give a little background of that as well.
Good evening, everybody. So before I drop everything here, a little history. I'd like for Trooper Caleb Elmore to come up front. I'd like for Patrolman First Class Jonathan Warner, Firefighter Queen, to come up front. Not this up front. Little history about these three young men right here. Kevin is the newest career staff member at the Weston Fire Department. He's been a volunteer fireman for several years and an employee of Upshur County EMS. Jonathan is a patrolman first class with Buckhannon PD. He's also a Buckhannon volunteer fireman and has really came about being a volunteer fireman, very active. Caleb, I've known Caleb his whole entire life. His dad is one of our captains at the Buckhannon Fire Department, and he's been basically growing up in the firehouse. So, that being said, I'll go into the story. On February 7th, 2026, the BFD, along with other fire departments, were dispatched to a very serious fire in our first due area. Upon arrival, these three young men arrived before the fire engine. It was if you've never seen the first 5 or 10 minutes of a structure fire, it's very chaotic. There were several people in this house, and these three young men went around to see how they could assist. They approached the rear of the house. There was an elderly lady still stuck at the back door. She could not move, and these three young men assisted her in getting out of the house. After removing her out, Patrolman First Class and Trooper Caleb Elmore continued to go around the house while Mr. Queen entered the house to do a sweep upstairs to make sure there was nobody else in there. With those actions, you gotta look, there's 2 police officers, and Kevin was working as an EMS worker. That to me is going above and beyond their duties. And I told Chief Gregory I really wanted to talk about this. I've been in the fire service for 37 years. I came from the Buckhannon Fire Department when we were down off the corner across the courthouse. When I was a young firefighter, there was police officers in our fire station every day. They hung out, we did things together, and then throughout the next few years, things kind of slipped away. There was not the camaraderie among departments. These young men, and with Kevin being at Weston, we see them on structure fires and major calls with Weston Fire Department. They are hanging out together, they're doing things on their days off, and all our young men and women in our fire and police and EMS services are out there trying to make a difference. Whether it's a fire, whether it's the fire department assisting these individuals on car wrecks. And that's why we're here tonight to present above and beyond bravery and action awards for each of these three members, Mayor and Chief Gregory. I know you have additional stuff you want to. So it just really shows the teamwork that is involved when multiple agencies get together and grow up together and foster the camaraderie among first responders.
So Mayor, with that, I'd like to read the citation for Patrolman First Class Jonathan Warner into the record, reflecting his life-saving efforts on that day. To Patrolman First Class Jonathan Warner, today's date, life-saving award. On Saturday, February 7, 2026, Patrolman First Class Jonathan Warner responded to Califat Drive to assist emergency responders with an active structure fire. Upon arriving on scene, PFC Warner immediately began to render assistance. A female occupant of the burning house who had difficulty walking had made it to the back porch of the residence. PFC Warner, along with Trooper Elmore, assisted this female occupant with evacuating the structure by moving her to safety. After she was in safety, PFC Warner then continued to assist members of the fire department with various needs outside the structure as they went about their duties in fighting the fire. PFC Warner's training as a firefighter proved to be an asset in this endeavor. As a result of his actions and for his prompt and unselfish act of rendering aid and assistance to another human being that resulted in saving a life, Patrolman First Class Jonathan Warner is hereby awarded with the Buckhannon Police Department Life Saving Award.
No, it's not.
You're not looking out, don't worry.
Thank you, big guy. What's your dad?
Sure.
Brian.
Okay, tighten it up a little bit if you would.
Robbie, you're kind of hidden.
All right, hold on a second.
There you go.
Jonathan, you'll kind of move back just a little bit. There we go.
There you go.
That's good. right, thank you.
Everybody's shaking.
Well, we'd invite y'all to stay for the rest of the meeting, but you probably don't want that. So we'll take just a two-minute recess here to allow for everybody who wishes to leave can do so. Guys, congratulations and thank you again. All right, let's continue on with the program this evening. I was just talking to the president of the Strawberry Festival, asking him if he wanted to provide any updates to us while he was here this evening. Outside of, you may have seen on social media today, they announced the Grand Marshal for the Grand Feature Parade. It will be former West Virginia University football player Owen Schmidt will be coming to Buckhannon to be in the parade this year. So we're very, very close to being able to officially announce the headliner Saturday night of for the concert series for the Strawberry Festival. And there are also, he and I talked today about who could be coming Friday night as well. And it's a nice little list of potentials who could be coming. So he said the first meeting in April, he will come back and give us the full rundown for everything when everything can be officially announced. So just wanted to double check with him before he exited the building. Okay, I don't believe we have anybody here for public comment. So we'll just go to Mr. O'Neill. I'm asking council if you would allow me to move his report up this evening right before finance. He's got a flight to catch in Pittsburgh, so I thought we'd give him an opportunity to speak and skedaddle.
Thank you, Mayor. I appreciate that. I don't have anything for the council's approval tonight, but I just wanted to kind of update you on a couple things that I've been working on. We got the mowing contracts for both the cemetery and the city properties that are going to be prepared for approval of the consolidated this coming week. Also doing a little bit of research on a couple of questions for members of council that will be distributed. Also, the main thing though I wanted to bring to the council's attention has to do with water treatment plant and a kind of a new development. There's not a problem or anything like that, but it appears that there is a strip of land between the A&O Railroad alignment and the Buckhannon River. I think the expectation was that maybe the railroad alignment went up, abutted the river, but it doesn't. And the ownership of that property is in a little bit of question. Now, we don't need that property to build the plant. We only need to cross it for the new water intakes. And frankly, again, I don't want to, please don't misunderstand the purpose of me bringing this. This isn't a problem. It's not going to throw into question or anything what we're doing. It's just a new issue that we've got to get a hold of because we're going to need an easement from whoever the owners of that little strip are. And the initial check of property tax records are not providing any clear answers. So we're going to be tackling that question, and I'm sure we'll be able to report a resolution to you at some point. Again, even if we knew who the property owners were, you know, we're a couple of years away from needing to get anything under signature, and there's no concern here. But this is just kind of where we are, just a matter of an update. So, happy to take any questions on any subject the council has, but that's all I've got.
I've received some questions about an update on codification, ordinance codification. I know that's in the process.
Yep.
If you can remind us.
Sure. So American Legal Publishing they are taking all of our ordinances and they're reworking them into a code format. They have all of the ordinances now. That is a multi-month process, probably 7 or 8 months from January. So we're looking at kind of mid-fall before we're going to be in a position to pass a new ordinance adopting the codification. But it is in everything. The ball is not in our court any longer. We got them a thumb drive with any ordinances that are not published on our website, and they have those now, and they are underway.
And also property swap with what land?
Good question. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
In fact, that's a matter that's starting to give me a little consternation. Again, the ball is in Wesleyan's court here, and we're just not getting responsiveness out of their council. There's really nothing for the city to do at this point. Wesleyan has, they have all the surveys, they have all of the questions, we have answered all of the questions that they have raised. We have a deed. We have our deed ready to give to them. What we need is for them to prepare their deed to give to us. That is what we are waiting on. So
Thank you.
what I may ask, Mayor, is, we might need to escalate this with college leadership if I cannot get movement out of their general
Okay.
council.
Sure.
So, but I'll advise.
Okay, thank you. Anything else for Mr. O'Neill?
Okay.
Thanks, sir.
Safe trip.
Safe travels. Okay. Up next, we have our Finance Director, Amby Jenkins, who hasn't had anything to do the last couple of weeks.
Been a little busy. Okay, so I'm going to give you a financial report of the entities first. Waste Collection Board, money market and checking, $1,915,000. Your CD and savings are $388,000, and a letter of credit for $64,000. The Water Board's money market and checking, $1,091,000. Working capital and savings are at $944,000. That'll increase next week because we just put some interest on some investments. Water Project Fund is at $5,007,000. The Sanitary Board money market and checking, $757,000, and the working capitals are at $496,000. The Stormwater Fund is at $318,000. In your bills, I'm just going to point out some of them that are a little different than general operations. $15,000 we expensed to the West Virginia Strawberry Festival, that additional $15,000 that they had requested. EMC repair services for fire truck engine repairs, $6,066. We expensed $3,500 to Trade Works for Buckhannon Street curb labor. Mountain State Pest Guard, $3,276 for termite inspection and treatment at the Stockard Youth Center. And then $3,792 to Valley Steel Services for materials for the training facility. The main thing I want to report on tonight is the budget, if you want me to go right into that.
We can do that. Real quick, I'd ask for a motion that we approve the payment of our bills. Motion by Scott, for a second by Rob. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so City Council was working hard in the month of March. We had two working sessions, the 3rd and the 10th of March. We landed on a final budget for general fund of $7,739,268. Of that budget, I have a chart that I usually make every year that shows what it ends up being the top priorities. 42.5% of the budget went towards public safety, which is the fire and police department and the facilities with those and the operations. 30% went towards street department. 10% is toward youth center, but with caveat there, 6.3% is operations, and we have the donations that's sitting out there of $307 to expensive Vincent comment, maybe playground equipment or something like that, but that's still to be determined. It is built in the budget, whatever you use it for. And then 6.5% went towards the areas of the mayor's office, council, recorder, treasurer, judge, attorney, and engineer and data processing. And then all the others fell underneath of that. For public safety, the police department budget landed at $1.7 million. New items in the budget, I'm going to report on things that are new, not necessarily all the operations are consistent, the payments we make for equipment. But new as financing of the volunteer police service, the BIPS radios, financing those. I think their cost was about $33,000. Financing of body and dash cameras for the full-time staff. Payments for a new parking enforcement vehicle, and computers for the police officers. For the fire department, it was at $1.4 million. New items in that budget included refurbishing of the 2009 fire engine, Public safety complex is at $101,000 and contains expenses for the continued improvements to the training facility. The street department budget is at $2.3 million. 2 grants are within that budget, lighting and sidewalk project near the city mural, and then Route 20 south sidewalk improvements in that area. $200,000 was allocated for projects, $400,000 was allocated for paving, $100,000 was allocated towards contribution to the stormwater projects. And then they also requested for purchase of a bucket truck and a man lift. So those are built in the budget. The Stockard Youth Center budget came in at $797,000. Like I said, $307,000 of that was it's money that's just set there as donations to be determined what to do with that. $489,000 for operations. New items in that budget are financing 2 new passenger vans to transport youth. Part-time personnel. Council believed it was time to change the $875 that we pay those part-time people to $10 per hour. That's built in the budget. The Colonial Arts Center is $126,000. We do have an HVAC unit that's going to be replaced. That's a new item in it. We will pay off the seating this year, so we will have a new HVAC unit in that main hall. The unit in that room is from the original pre-construction building. The budget also includes 2% pay increases for our employees. The cost of the salary increase, including those part-time positions, is about $126,000 total, of which $14,000's got to do with the part-time changes. Funding we had towards outside entities included Upshur County Development Agency. They'll receive an additional contribution of $10,000. They'll go towards managing the facade program, and $25,000 for the Business Startup Assistance Program. Country Roads Transit, $15,000. Upshur County Health Department, $5,000. And then funds received from the hotel motel is split by the ordinances requiring 70% goes to the CBB, which is about $84,000, and 30% goes towards the city flower program, about $36,000. The Upshur County Airport is $40,000. Create Buckhannon is $10,000. The major revenue streams in this budget are property taxes estimated to be about $928,000. B&O taxes at $1.5 million. Police protection fees $250,000. Fire protection fees $300,000. Utility taxes $230,000. And then the sales tax that will supplement this budget is $2.3 million. Just so you know, when we work on this per the state code, we have to include the coal tax, which is a small amount. It's $16,000 that we're expecting in revenue there, and that goes towards the street department. And then the only thing I have to say, once the budget's approved tonight, then we'll send that to the West Virginia State Auditor's Office. They will do their approval. We'll have to publish it in the newspaper. And then City Council will meet one more time about this budget on April 21st to lay the levy rates. That's mandatory that day. We usually set at 9 a.m. if that's okay with there. I just need a quorum that day. And then we'll get that scheduled if that's okay. If not, then we'll have Teresa work on a time that works for you for that day. So that's the budget. Any changes to the budget can't take place until after July when we have to revise it to fit our actual balance on hand. We estimate it, but the actual balance on hand, we have to revise to that. That was it. Y'all worked hard. We appreciate what you've contributed towards our facilities and our employees, and good work.
Labor levy was April
21st.
It's literally a minute and a half meeting. Yes.
Yeah.
Very outdated system the state has us do.
Yeah.
Well, Amby, thank you from us. Thank you for all the work that you and Barb and the office staff put into this budget. We know that it's not an easy task to wrangle all of us and what we'd like to see for the city. but you all always do a great job and keep everything in line and make the process as easy as possible for us. So
Thank
we
you.
appreciate you all very much.
And we appreciate you too. Thank you.
All right, are there any questions or any comments relative to the budget? As Amby noted, we've had a few working sessions where we've had lengthy discussions about this document. So there have been no changes since the last time we met.
The one document will require the roll call vote. It's a little different this year.
All right, at this time, I'd entertain a motion that we approve the fiscal year 2026-2027 general fund budget for the city of Buckhannon. Motion by Pam, second by Jack. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Mr. Sanders, will you go through the roll call?
Mr. Skinner,
Yes.
Mrs. Buckler,
Yes.
Mr. Rigger,
Yes.
Mrs. Giuliani,
Yes.
Mr. Randall,
Yes.
All right.
and that's all. Yeah, my name's not on there.
You should be, you need to be on it.
Huh?
You need to be on it. You have to attest to it too.
Yeah. You want me to print my name on there, or do you want
Yeah,
me
you
to?
can put it on.
Wait, you're,
Oh, right down here.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, it's down at the bottom. I didn't look all the way. I shouldn't have questioned you at all, so. Sanders votes yes, if everybody's waiting to hear, so. All right.
I was getting pretty tired by then, so it may not.
Well, you just went.
Yeah. Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you, Mayor, for pointing that out.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Young eyes, I guess.
Oh, listen to you.
All right, so the budget passes unanimously. Thank you all for your work on that document. And speaking of the budget, who will be receiving the largest piece of that pie, Public Works side of things with all our projects. Ethan, what do you have for us this evening?
We are starting to pick up a little bit more as the weather breaks. The park installation of the new playground equipment at North Buckhannon is scheduled for the week of March 30th. That should only take a couple days, so after that, the following week, we'll have the mulch and orders installed, so that should be up and ready to go by the time the park's open on May 1st. We are getting ready to start the Jawbone Park stage next, ADA ramp next week. That shouldn't take too long. It'll be ready in plenty of time for Strawberry Festival, I'm sure. Other than that, we got a couple little sidewalk projects on Cooper Street, and we've begun working with Shane and Lacey and others on Strawberry Festival plans, so it is coming up. The Waste Department, we had some issues with our scales today, closed the transfer station a little bit. I believe they had those up and running. I didn't hear what the issue was yet. I believe it was another sensor, some ice in it again, so we're working with the scale company to try and prevent that from happening again. It's happened a couple times in last month and hasn't happened in 5 years, so I don't know what's changed.
If I can interject too, it was, I did receive a couple of questions while we closed the recycling as well. My discussions with management was that it was very, very confusing the last time that happened with the gates open.
Yes.
You know, while we prefer to have access to the recycling area, you know, we had a lot of people coming in thinking they could hit the scales.
Yeah.
And they had to turn around, and it just got to be kind of
Yes.
a log jam in there.
There's no good way to
Right.
separate the two. They're all in one facility. They share a facility, so leaving the gates open, it's,
Would it be possible just to maybe, I don't know, if we can't do this, we can't do this, but to relocate the gate up just a little bit to allow for access to the recycling center, and you could just turn around and go right back out?
I would add another gate before I did that, so that way you can shut one gate off. That way the recycling center doesn't stay open at this time of night.
That's true.
People going to throw trash.
I got you.
That's something we could look at. The problem right now is we blocked the section off, but there's a road around that the waste collection trucks still have to get into because we still run the collection routes. We could look at some gating options to try and do that, but yeah, that would be the only way that I know to do it.
Okay.
So hopefully, like I said, I need to talk to the company that works on the scales in Dakota and see what they think the issue is if this keeps happening. So hopefully they'll have an answer.
Yeah, I mean, as long as I've been a part of the city, that this has never happened,
Yeah,
and it's
that's
happened
what-
twice, so.
We thought, so I don't know if it's a fluke or, I don't know.
And I know there's also, the backseat drivers are saying, you know, we'll just count the bags or, you know, but it's not, that's not per regulation. It has to be
No, that's
weighed
not how
as
we
it comes in.
charge. That's correct. We weigh, whenever we take the waste to the landfill, they charge us based on weight, not bags. So it's hard to look at a dump trailer full and say that weighs 500 pounds.
Right, we have to stick with what our tariff says.
Yes,
Right.
and the PSC regulates that, so we
Well,
can't
we
just.
appreciate that input, that's the clarification.
Yeah.
You know.
I have a question. What's the age of our scales?
They're-
And are they facing obsolescence?
No, they're about 5 years old. The ones that we had before, we just talked about this today, they were 15, 20 years old. So I don't think that it's a outdated technology issue. Might be more of a technology issue because the way that I understand, they have more sensors. The other ones were more mechanical and not technical. Yeah, digital. So I don't know what the answer is. They're high quality scales. They're not a cheap scale, from what I understand about them. But so they should have another 10, 15 years in them anyway. I don't think that it's an issue of replacing them. It's just an issue of something's changed in them and need to figure out what it is.
Thank you.
Okay. Other than that, there's a free paper shred event at the Public Works facility across the street on April 18th. I believe that's from 9 to 12. The sewer department continued to work on our SCADA system, and we repaired a couple sewer laterals along Bogus Street that caused us issues. We're planning the project there this next fiscal year. And they have also completed tying on West Lincoln Street. We will get that paved as soon as the weather warms up a little bit. The asphalt plants have started opening. I don't like to do much patching or paving to it. The temperature gets consistently above 50 to 60. You just get a better quality after it gets there. So there'll be a little dip there for a little bit, but we'll keep an eye on it and make sure it's nice and smooth. Then other than that, we have a major upgrade on Chestnut Street we're moving to, and we'll be there for the majority of the summer. It'll be about 1,500 feet of clay tile being replaced. Stormwater, we've submitted the FEMA application for Taylor Street, ended up at 1.69 million. I believe Jay's gone back and forth with a little bit of additional information on it. This past week, we got everything squared away and hopefully to hear something in the next few months on it. The water department's also working on their SCADA systems. They are upgrading them with booster and water tanks. We've had several leaks this week. And again, it's still de-thawing time, so the ground's loosening up and shifting, causing a little bit of issue there. Then they'll start a new upgrade on Central Avenue where they've had several issues recently. Engineering, the Charles Gibson Library Board opened bids on March 3rd. The low bidder was Stutter Roofing and Metal at $107,900. That is scheduled to begin as soon as they get the necessary documents, hopefully in mid-April. The Colonial Center HVAC system is on pause until after April 1st to do some performances. After that, there's a bit of a window, a couple weeks that we'll finish that up. The North Locust Street, which is now the South Kanawha Street project, we had a on-site meeting, walked her out with the DOH. That'll be a 27-28 project as far as construction, but design will take place this year. They being the DOH seemed happy with the project and think it would be a good project to complete. And I believe that's all I have in engineering for my general report.
Okay. Any questions for Ethan? Ritchie Street project that has nothing to do with us.
Yes, that is all gas company. Before we pave the street, I always ask the gas company if they have a project plan. I always get told no.
Here we go
That there's a
again.
project, so.
Yeah, contrary to, we had no say over that.
Yeah.
So we didn't pave the street and then tear it up. Just like we have no say over the Tennerton Bridge project, and just like we had no say over the pickleball decision. Are we getting close to that? Do we know if we're getting close to that project being complete?
On Ritchie Street?
Mhm.
Yes, I talked to them. They said it wasn't going to be the Ritchie Street portion. They still have to go down Tucker, but I believe the Ritchie Street portion of that project is a week or two. Whenever I talked to them last, about a week ago, said around the 1st of April, hopefully. And then with that, they did tell me they were planning to do from a section of Arbor to me crossing South Florida. So that is why we are not scheduled to pave yet the Camden Avenue, because they will be crossing Camden Avenue on Florida.
Are they going to nicely fix what they've dug up, or is that on us?
No, it's on them to repair it.
Okay.
And right now, they don't have to mill it or anything, they just fix the trench. We have a set of specs that we give any contractor to fix it, so yes, it will be repaired.
While they're repairing that, is there a chance that they may go back and fix some of the areas that they never did fix on Smithfield Street?
Yes, we've been on them about Smithfield, I believe there's still one on East Main, and maybe one on Randolph. There's several of them that we have a list of that.
I'd like, I mean, while they have either them or a contractor, they still owe us, because we had, once again, we had just paved Smithfield Street.
Yeah.
It looked beautiful, and then within that same year, they're tearing it up with gas line work.
Yeah,
So,
I believe there's some on Chancery Street too, from where they did.
and we paved that too.
It happens all over, but we do have a list. I need to get with them and make sure they get those fixed.
Okay.
And-
It only makes sense for them to save a few bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's on them, and they will, I don't know about the Smithfield ones, that one's been a couple of years. Typically, they're decent about getting their patches repaired within a couple months of the project, but Smithfield, I'd say, is still through the cracks, and we'll remind them of it though.
Okay.
And I apologize, if you already said, the scale is back up and running, or it's functional at the moment?
Yes, I believe so. As of this afternoon, they got late this afternoon, we had the scale company there about all day, so it's good for now.
Okay, and did they give any kind of diagnosis or anything?
I haven't had a chance, I'm sure they did. I was in some meetings all afternoon, so I didn't have a chance to catch them myself. But
Okay. Before we go to the other part of Ethan's report, I'd ask for you, the report of zoning and code enforcement was sent out to you. I'd ask that if there are no additions, corrections, or questions, that we approve the building and wiring permits as presented. Motion by Randy, is that a second, Scott? Second by Scott. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Okay, Ethan.
Jack, you okay?
Yeah.
okay, so next little thing that we have, there's a consignment auction out there at the Brushy Fork Crossing, just across from Buckhannon Toyota. You see the equipment coming in now there. We sold in one other auction, I believe, some equipment from various departments, street, waste, sewer, water, and this time we actually have a couple from police in there. We just need approval to sell those. These are all pieces of equipment that have been replaced. And we had good luck the last time. They advertised a lot wider area. They go regionally. I think we had a curving machine go to Australia last auction. So we get a higher return on what we're replacing. The page behind my report, there's a list of what we are selling from various departments, and then we just need approval to sell that. We're not using it anymore, it's been replaced.
Any questions for Ethan on that concept? I entertain a motion that we approve and authorize to participate with partner auction services for our sale of miscellaneous surplus equipment. Motion by Rob, second by Jack. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, that motion carries. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Up next is Police Department report from Chief Gregory. I don't think you'll be able to surpass what the earlier presentation.
No, I don't think so, so I'll keep it brief. Mayor, the only thing I have is to announce that our patrolman, Cole Bender, will be honored with the Spirit of Service Award by our local Rotary at an event of theirs on April 7th. At this same event, David Rowan, who has been a member of our VIPS organization since its inception in 2014, will also receive this honor.
Okay.
And that's all I have tonight, unless there's questions.
That's a great
Oh,
report.
wow.
Jack he didn't even have time to get the timer out. He wasn't,
I beat the timer.
yeah,
You did beat the
Yeah.
timer. Thanks, sir.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
All right. The only new business item that we have this evening is Mr. Sanders brought to us the recommendation to appoint B.J. Hoffman, who is involved with the Buckhannon Community Band and the different arts initiatives here in the community. I believe brand new resident right down here, down the street within the city of Buckhannon. He and his wife, and so Mr. Sanders would like us to appoint him to the Colonial Arts Center Board of Directors. I think he would be an excellent fit for that organization.
Make that motion.
Pam would like the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Rob. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. That motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Council member comments and announcements. Scott.
Just want to say thank you to our new Wesleyan contact, Mr. Boggs. Did a wonderful job. The commendations that we gave out for Life Saving Award, I wanted to echo JB's statement, how good of an example that is, showing camaraderie among the departments. I think that's a very important thing, especially among young troopers, patrolmen, and firefighters. I'll end with our scale at the transfer station. It's a very important part of our operations, and that's something that many of our citizens depend on if they aren't having trash pickup. Just wanted to put it out there that I think it was brought up that a second scale potentially could be of some good benefit, potentially citizens separated with another scale that is only used by the city itself. That's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Pam.
Also, I'm very proud of our officers and our firemen. They're very professional, and it almost made me cry them telling the story myself, so I'm very proud of them. Also, I want to invite everybody to come to see the play next week, the Iliad, the Odyssey, and all the Greek mythology. I have tickets for sale at my shop, and there's other various places too. I'm sure that'll be a good night. And I'm also going to have another decor meeting next Wednesday night at 5:30 here. I'd like everybody to come, because I'd like to do something for the 250th year this year in the United States. So please come, give your ideas.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jack.
I just want to concur with what has been shared regarding the patrolmen and the firemen that received awards tonight and were recognized. It's a tremendous thing, and I think recognizing excellence in any form is worthwhile. And that's all I have. I beat Matt Gregory.
I don't know about that.
All right, thanks, Jack. Rob?
I think going last because everyone else said everything, but again, echo everyone's sentiments to thank all the gentlemen that received honors tonight. I wanted to thank Amby tirelessly again for just doing budget, and we see the short end of it just meeting twice, and it's kind of overwhelming looking at all that, and you do a great job preparing it, so thank you for that. And then Wesleyan even said that, the representative, but just coming now into spring, all this, my wife wanted me to say this too, the spring sports seasons are short and quick, so both at Wesleyan and at the high school, you have tennis, track, baseball, softball, lacrosse, catch a game, watch a game. That's about it.
Okay, thanks, sir. I'll tell you what, next time, April meeting, we'll start with you.
Oh, there you go.
Steal all your time.
Yeah, we'll start with you and go that way. Mr. Sanders.
All right, under the recorder's reports, I want to begin with a reminder that the city of Buckhannon will conduct its annual spring cemetery cleanup from March 23rd through March 27th. This cleanup includes Buckhannon Memorial Park, Old Hebner, Second Edition, Veterans, and Old Baptist cemeteries. And we're encouraging folks to remove all items that must be removed before the scheduled start date. Any items remaining at the sites will be disposed of during the cleanup process. I want to repeat that. Please ensure, which we're doing, that all items are removed from before the scheduled start date so that they aren't thrown away during the cleanup process. And of course, if you have any questions, you can call City Hall 304-472-1651. And we have March 26th to the 29th. BCT is presenting the Iliad, the Odyssey and all of Greek mythology at the Colonial Arts Center. April 29th, 2026, we have a Zoning Board of Appeals meeting, and want to announce that a FOIA request came in from the SBA Communications Corp regarding cell phone tower proposals. Upcoming at the Event Center, Brushy Fork, March 27th, Mountain State Wrestling Federation event. April 8th, the State of the Corridor event. That is a great gathering of 3 counties that share the corridor. We have Randolph, Lewis, and of course Upshur County, and the leaders from all of those counties will be in attendance talking about what is going on throughout the area. April 8th is, April 11th, Ducks Unlimited event. April 16th, training for the Upshur County election workers. Again on April 20th, that training. April 18th, we're fitting in the Seth Project. And April 25th, the Buckhannon Upshur High School prom. We've booked several events, May, June, and July, and in the future, I think what we'll do is start limiting some of the announcements of the events to the ones that the public will have an interest in attending. Some of the events are closed events by corporations, training sessions, and so on, that the public can't come to. So I want people to know the event center is staying busy, but at the same time, instead of putting a long list, I think we'll limit it to those events that the public is most interested in attending. And beyond that, I just wanted to mention too that we sent all the findings over from our research on the square footage model for the commercial fire fee within the municipality to our city attorney. We were hoping to get that ready to roll out by the beginning of the fiscal year, but after talking internally, that might be a little aggressive, but just so council knows, and council got in their emails an update of all that information that is being proposed for the ordinance. We're going to be pushing to get that implemented as soon as possible, because there are a lot of commercial property owners waiting for that. Hoping that gets instituted. Just a lot to put together with the budgets going on, with everything else. There's a lot that has to be implemented in the front office area, but Mr. O'Neill is ready to roll and we're working on it, so we'll keep you posted on that.
Thanks, sir. And thank you for the work you've done with that. I mean, I know it's to the community it's taken a while, but what you have to understand is we're building an entirely new system. We've not done it this way before, and so now what there's been a lot of research and data implemented into this to make it accurate, and Mr. Sanders has worked with our staff out front here, and Amby and Barb and Teresa and others to put all that in and get it done for us. So thank you, sir.
Sure.
We're looking forward to having that roll out. But you can't just flick a switch or snap your fingers and it happens. It's all by hand putting in this information.
So. That is one thing I've learned in public service, that there's a lot of entities, there are a lot of different facets of the entity. This is one big family, but there's a lot of different facets that have to come together for it. A little bit different than the private sector, so you have to have a little patience sometimes.
The only thing I would say tonight, if you all would be, I'm looking behind Dennis, if you all would be interested or approve this, I'd like to maybe pin an op-ed to both of you, because I am just almost at a loss for the amount of just complete confusion misinformation, misbelief of information that is here. I mean, there is a clear difference between the city and the county entity. There is a clear difference between the state, the city, and the county entity. There is a difference within this organization of entities. Each utility board that we have has its own FEIN number. They are their own entities. Yes, all of the billing takes place in here, but the water department, sewer department, and waste department are all separate entities. We cannot take from one and put into the other. Just like we can't control what happens up the street or with the Department of Highways. They're different. The entities are different. But clearly, though, there's a need out there for some correct information. I can't tell you how many times this week I got stopped asking about things that we can't control, but they thought we could. They think we can. Also, we have been working, Ethan, Amby, staff out front here, the sanitary board, Jay, they've been working on the plan for the Camden Avenue Taylor Street project for 11 months. We didn't just wake up this week and say, we're going to do this. And when there's a comment out there, well, it's about time, well, we've been working on it. It takes time to nail down a grant. It takes time to work with engineering firms to get the plan in place. It takes time to talk to neighbors and get their buy-in on the project. It doesn't just happen. And I don't know why maybe it's the instant gratification society we live in. I don't know. But if you all would be open to this, I think maybe it would do some good. I don't know. The only thing I guess I would ask is if I did something like that, could it not be behind a paid wall for people to read? I am a supporter of journalism and businesses. I have a business myself, but if just a piece, one piece, if we could ask that maybe it doesn't go behind a paid wall, that would be great. As I don't know what else to do. I mean, we have a lack of understanding about how everything works. What are your all's thoughts?
I think it's great.
I think
The more we do, I mean, the less confusion there should be. We'll never eradicate it all, because, as you well know, you can tell somebody a fact and they'll shake their head and say, no, nope.
Yeah.
I can tell somebody what my date of birth is and I'll argue with them. Nope, I know better. I know more than you.
Yeah, I know. It really is something. I've had the same thing. I've talked to people about a concept and no, because that's not what they heard. And I'm like, well, I'm at the meeting. My signature's on it. I'm telling you. But
They said.
yeah, they said, they heard.
I think that's a good start, because I've always been a proponent of trying to disseminate more information. And I can tell you, I get stopped all the time, and my blood pressure boils within 3 seconds, because what they're asking me is so out of the reality of it's not even an issue.
Right.
And you can't even answer that, because they start to refute things, and it's like banging your head against a wall.
Well, I mean, like look, we are all here, a part of this community. We want our schools to do well. But there is nothing this entity can do to fund the Upshur County school system. There is nothing the Upshur County Commission can do to fund the Upshur County school system. It's not legal. It can't be. I mean, when you pay your property taxes, there is a line right there for school current. That's where that money goes. It's separate. It's itemized. And yes, it rolls through the county system, but it's a pass-through directly to the school system. the county commission doesn't fund the Upshur County school system. We can't fund the Upshur County school system, just like they can't turn around and fund us. So, but I get asked, why, you all spent this money, why can't you put it toward, what, there's teachers getting ripped, why can't you help? We can't. We can't. I'd love to, but we can't. So, anyway, I just think that would be necessary. So, we'll put something together if you all will be agreeable to it, to try to help. I don't know if it will, but we can't. I don't want to just sit here on my hands and say and not try.
Another thing you can think about, Robbie, is we would be interested in maybe working with Randy for the city website and having a very simple local government page maybe that's always there that would have some of that information that people could refer to.
Well, I'll tell you this, and we've had some conversation here. It has been too much of a back burner project, but I think we'd all agree we do need an overhaul of our website. Yeah. It's not the most user-friendly thing in the world. Technology has advanced, and the way sites are built has advanced, and I do think we need to work on a better way to transmit information via our website, because it is herky-jerky. I get that. I mean, I know where things are, but I'm used to it, but I could see from a resident's perspective, someone needing information, it's not the most user-friendly thing in the world.
And to that vein, we have looked, and we've been in discussion with some companies about that, but we are implementing some other upgrades through Civic Plus, which is the agenda packets that's going to be rolling out pretty soon. It's going to modernize how we get our agendas, how we handle the agendas through the meetings, whether it be on each one of us having our own laptop or iPad to do that. So that's a pretty healthy cost. We've got a few other things that we've been working on. That is, and I don't want to put the website on the back burner, but it's on the stove. Let's put it that way. Yes, it is on the back burner right now, but it's on a burner anyway.
Yeah,
at least that's
we've kind of looked at it like, well, we have a website. It works, so it's not. We've had other things to do, but we do need to get there, and I think.
We'll talk.
Well, as artificial intelligence, most people are going to start getting the information from that in the next 10 years.
Yeah.
And they're pulling all of that from public websites.
Mm-hmm.
So the way you frame what you have posted on there now is
very important.
That's what's going to be training artificial intelligence.
Right.
So just something to think about
as
that transition occurs.
Yeah. Well, when I, it's like the changes in the Economic Development Authority. The Economic Development Authority the phone used to ring off the hook at the Development Authority of companies and individuals calling up and saying, tell me about your town. What's Buckhannon, West Virginia like? Now, no one does that. They look at what you have online, and they'll make their decision about your community based on what's online. They won't pick up the phone and call at all. So you're being judged without even you could be judged while you're asleep at night, and no one has a clue that you're being judged, but someone could be looking you up as a community and just making the decision right then and there if they're going to consider you or not. So
we're better PJs.
Yeah. That's right. All right, that's it for tonight. At 8:23, I entertain a motion that we adjourn. All right, thank you.